Hi all, and welcome to your second week of remote working. Hope that week one has gone well. You've got used to how it's all working and everything else in life is going okay. And again, hope you've subscribed to the YouTube channel to help you get the video, the PowerPoints with me talking to you in case you're missing that. Right, so we're going to look at week two and a bit more work for you all. So we're continuing with the executive. So to get you going with it, we'll start with the final four pre-chewed are in the executive section. So videos 5 through to 8. There's also a case study I want you to look at. It's the latest reshuffle. Assigned the PM is weak and stable. You might all remember the term strong and stable from a previous Prime Minister. So a bit of worksheet and watching some videos on me, but also a little bit of reading and looking at the details on that. Right, so this task 2 is a bigger one, looking at a whole range of different bits. So your main kind of sources for this are the textbook, the booklet that you were using last week as well, the component 2 one, UK government topic 3, the executive, and then the PM and executive PowerPoint again that you were using last week. So there's some reading to do, there's some tasks to complete in the booklet. Make sure that you spend a bit of time on this, you go through it, don't just answer the questions, make sure you do all the reading as well. So the look bit at the bottom is the idea of trying to get you to do a bit of retrieval, where you go over the information and then you try and test yourselves on it. Again, something is quite difficult for us to recreate it at home. Right, now the big task is task 3. So for this, you will need another PowerPoint that I will send you today, which is case studies for the 31st of March PowerPoint, because it's for the 31st of March and it's got case studies in it. So that's the basis of that one. You'll use your textbook again, and you continue to use the booklet. Now, the ultimate aim of this is at the back of the booklet, there is a section, pages 55 through to pages 62, of kind of information pages on the different prime ministers. Because if you ever had to write about prime ministers and executive, you're expected to use examples. You need examples from before 97, the 97 Labour government, and then things that are more recent. So the case studies go through from Thatcher all the way up to May, and I want you to add in Boris at the end and see what you can make of him using the same format as is in the booklet for the other prime ministers. So that will be the case studies. Now, that PowerPoint looks a bit like this. These are just some of the slides from it, not all of them. And you will be going through and doing some work. The booklet at the end of these pages, it's got this information that you need to fill in. It's done in a nice kind of chart fill in the boxes kind of way, and so you can go through, you can find out all these bits of information about the prime ministers. There's a whole series of tasks to help you get there. So you will be looking at some video, for example, the Andrew Marr one, to find out about Thatcher, and there's some questions in the booklet, and then there is some extra work in the textbook, and then at the end there's that kind of piece to fill in, that kind of profile. Again, you'll also be looking at Blair. Again, there's an article in the booklet on Blair, there's stuff in the textbook, and then you fill in the Blair profile on page 58. Bit of detail on the PowerPoint itself on Cameron. You'll then use the booklet and the textbook, and there's also a short bit of video on there for you to follow for that one. Similar with May, there's some stuff in the booklet to complete, some reading to do, an article on May, more in the textbook, and then again it's filling in that profile of May. our current Prime Minister, Boris. So because I'm always behind on these things and things keep on changing, the other material was produced before he was Prime Minister. So there isn't a profile element for Boris in the booklet, but you can add one. And there are some blank pages at the end of the booklet for you to do that. And then there's some more information on that PowerPoint that goes through some of the stuff to do with the Prime Minister and the executive in terms of who has the power and where it lies. And then we got this idea of whether the Prime Minister has actual control. Do we have weak cabinets and dominant Prime Ministers, or do we have dominant cabinet and weak Prime Ministers? And I'm sure you'll be able to start to pick up from those case studies, if you didn't know it already, where the position lies with different governments. It's one of these things that isn't set in stone. It changes as we go from Prime Minister to Prime Minister, from when we go from reshuffle to reshuffle. And then again, we've got more detail on whether the Prime Minister dominates the system or not. Possibly quite difficult for him to do at this precise moment, but it looks like we do have a Prime Minister whose kind of normal method or normal way of working is quite a domineering one. And there's been lots of stuff in the press about that around the reshuffle that took place recently, where anyone who was seen to have stood up to Boris has gone, and those who are less likely to stand up to Boris have stayed. So what am I expecting you to do by when? So this is theoretically the last week of this term. So task 1 and 2, so that's the pre-tude plus the first set of tasks using the PowerPoints and booklets. I want that doing for Friday, please, and emailing to me. The rest of it, the case study work, I think will take you a bit longer. You might well be a long way towards finishing that by Friday. Having said that, you might not quite have got it done. So that will continue to give you something to do over the Easter holidays, all other entertainment seeming to be shut down to you. I will also continue to add other videos to the YouTube channel. If you have any requests of topics you would like me to go over, then please leave comments or email me and let me know, and I will do what I can to try and match those requests, assuming that they are good and sensible ones and stuff that is central to our course. Right. So hope you enjoy all of this. Again, contact me, comment, or send me an email if you have any questions or queries. Okay, look after yourself, guys. Speak to you again soon.